What's going on, boys and girls? We have to bring up a new futures prop firm today because they are killing the game. And it is about time. They made some changes that were very significant that put them on the map for futures prop firms. We're talking about FundedNext, baby. And if we look at Payout Junction, the last 30 days, they are topping the charts, with one guy getting paid over $115,000 in just one payout. And of course, we got Tradeify coming in number 2, LFG. FundedNext now does have uncapped payouts. We're talking something similar to what Topstep used to have back in the Topstep glory days with their XFAs. Now, back then, we could only trade about 3 XFAs at the same time, but you could withdraw 50% of your profits uncapped, right? Now they have the $5,000 payout cap, which kind of sucks. Still not bad, though, because you get $25K every, 5 days at minimum. So, I mean, they're still not bad, but FundedNext is kind of picking up where Topstep kind of dropped off, which is massive. And we know they have the piggy bank to pay it out because of their CFD side, their Forex. Their Forex counterpart is absolutely killing it. I mean, we can see on Payout Junction how much they're paying out. That's what, almost $10.5 million in 30 days. Let's check out 7 days. Like 3 mil in 7 days. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. So let's take a look at first their pricing and their account types. Second, their trading rules. And third, let's see if they're even, worth it. Like their price to payout ratio. Is it actually worth it? Because there's one thing that FundedNext does not have, and that is... Actually, there's 2 things, because they do not have an activation fee. But there is one thing they do not have on the future side, which kind of sucks, but it's not entirely bad, actually. It's the 150K plan. So, I mean, they only go up to 100Ks. You could get a 25K, which has a 1-to-1 price to loss ratio to pass the challenge. No activation fee, which is huge. It's only $79. Take another 10% off with code DGT. That's $70, something like that. The 50K is 1-to-1 as well, and then the 100K is 2-to-1. So I mean, 150K is 2-to-1 as well, just like the 100K. But you got to make $9,000, and you only get $1,500 and more drawdown. So is it the worst thing ever to not have a 150K account? I don't know. It's debatable. I like the 150K accounts because I like to trade minis, usually 1 to 2 minis, and I think that's the most you could trade with a 150K account unless you just get lucky. But, with a 50K account, you could trade probably 5 micros and get away with it maybe and still do very, very well. Or do tiny little scalps with 1 mini. They only let you go up to 3 minis regardless. Oh, that's only on the challenge, actually. On the actual funded account, you could have up to 5 minis. And they do have a consistency rule. So that's where these guys kind of differ from Topstep. Now, Topstep has no consistency rule, right? In their XFAs, they do have a payout cap. Now, a 40% consistency rule, it's debatable because, is it really that big of a deal? I'm not totally sure. You can make, 20K in 1 day and still, get past the 40% consistency rule for a massive uncapped payout. So, I mean, you got to be pretty good at trading, but, that one windfall day that, let's say you catch a nasty trend, even with small size, you still make a fuckload of money. I mean, it's 40% is a fair number, so that's not too bad. And this is the new Legacy challenge that they removed the payout cap on, and they also removed the daily loss limit, which was very, very annoying. And best of all, they slashed the prices. So I'm thinking the 50K account is the move because a $2,500 max loss limit, the $2,500 TP, it's just more appealing than the 1,200. I mean, I've done TPT 25K accounts, and the 1-to-1 ratio is nice, but this money goes by so fast. If there's volatility, you trade 1 mini, it just disappears, right? But let's take a look at the pricing. This is the 50K account. Go DGT, you get $16 off, so it's about $144 all in. You could have up to 6 of these bad boys. So let's take a look at how much that would cost. 144 times 6. So that's $864 all in. right? You know, I've spent more on other prop firms. Let's just say that. It's not a bad price. There's no activation fee. I mean, let's take a look at the payout rules to see if they're really worth. And then we'll come back to the rapid challenge, which actually is pretty incredible because you can get rewards in as little as 3 days, and that's as soon as you get funded, right? You can get funded in 1 day with the rapid challenge, and then you could get a payout in as little as 3 days. So it's one of the fastest, start to finish payouts. With TPT, you could get a payout on your first day of the funded account, but the eval is 5 days. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit of give and take there. And there's no buffer requirements, no winning days on the rapid challenge. So the rapid challenge definitely still does cook. Now, there was a little bit of a price increase on these bad boys. And, I'm not like really in a rush to pass challenges anymore. I found that whenever I do rush to pass challenges, I usually get cooked and end up buying more and more challenges, and by the time I pass, it's been like 2-3 days anyways, and I've spent probably 2-3 times the money that I've wanted to spend. So I have my eye on the legacy challenge, mostly because there's no payout cap and you can just grind with these bad boys. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rules, because as you know, we want to trade prop firms, we want to have the downside protection of using a prop firm compared to a personal account. Then we got to follow the rules, otherwise we will not get paid, and we all want to get paid. That's why we're all doing this. That's why we're all traders, right? We want to make money, and we want the freedom that comes along with money. So let's take a look. I mean, we could take a look at the challenge accounts very briefly. I mean, there's really no crazy rules. There's no consistency rules on the rapid challenge. It's no daily loss limits. You could just YOLO it, basically. On the legacy challenge, there's 40% consistency rule across the board. You just got to meet the profit target, so you could pass in as little as 3 days with 40% consistency. And there are no daily loss limits. Yeah, pretty, I mean, you can see right here, they're flexible, lighter restrictions, no daily loss limit for the rapid challenge. The legacy challenge is a little more structured for the payouts. But one thing is that it's huge is the 15% reward. So on the legacy challenge, once you get a payout, so let's say you get a payout on the 50K account, once you take a payout, or if you've earned more than $2,500 on the 50K account, which is the account we'd go with anyways, you get a little bit of a bonus, right? So 375, we go back to their pricing, basically get like 2x what the cost of the account is. Now, so I mean, that's just like a little bit of a bonus, right? I mean, is it like a crazy big deal? Kind of, because, you basically get 2x what you paid for, as long as you get to the payout and you make that much. But one of the main things that I have been seeing about FundedNext that made me want to make this video in the first place is how the payout system works. So let's see how we can get a payout. So from the rapid accounts, you just got to meet the minimum profit amount each cycle independently, 250 or 500 for the 50K accounts. So like you could get a payout fairly fast with a rapid account. It could be a small payout too. I mean, I think it's about $250 the minimum that you got to make in 3 days with 40% consistency. I mean, now, is it worth taking the $250 payout? Not too sure, because it's going to move up your max loss limit. So this is, I mean, it's good if like you're super tight on money, but you really shouldn't be trading if you're super tight on money anyways. But that's just the rapid account. So let's take a look at the legacy account, because this is what reminds me of the Topstep glory days, back when we were fucking killing it with Topstep. Making $60,000 in a day, $40,000 in one trade, stuff like that. And it was just such a great time. And so, I mean, FundedNext is kind of bringing that back, right? Now with the 40% consistency rule, it is a little bit different, but it's still very possible, because all you need to do is get the $200 profit days, just like Topstep used to have. Now they're at $150 for Topstep. And if a day does not qualify as a benchmark day, any profit made will still contribute to the consistency rule calculations. So that's nice. You could take like $100 days or whatever you wanted to. And yeah, let's see where these. Okay. So the minimum $500 profit in current cycle. So traders must have at least $500 profit within the current trading cycle before they can request a payout. So the minimum you need is $500. And you need, what, 5 of these benchmark days, I believe? Yes, you need 5 benchmark days. So if you wanted to, you could do $200 a day, still take a $500 payout out, as long as you have the consistency for it. Now, where are the performance rewards? Okay, so here it is. This is one of the new rule updates where you could withdraw 100% of the profits at 30 days, right? So, I mean, that's similar to Topstep. Kind of a big deal because you could really stack up an account here and withdraw 100% of the account after 30 days. Now, that's not really like the best thing because, you know, most of us probably won't make it at 30 days. It's very difficult. It sounds easy, but it's very hard. What we're really looking at is that we withdraw 50% of accumulated profit after every 5 benchmark days. So let's say we make, you know, $10,000 per account times 6 accounts. We withdraw 50% of that. That'll be 6 times 5,000. I mean, that's a $30,000 payday right there, right? Let's say one of those days, you know, let's do minus 40%. Nope. So let's say like $30,000 minus 40. Let's just do the percent thing, make it nice and easy. So like one of our days could be like $12,000, and then we could have like another 12K day and another like 6K day, you know, something like that, or, you know, break it up into smaller pieces. But we could have one of those giant windfall days where we, let's say, catch a massive cliff and still kind of grind up to meet the consistency rule for a massive payout in just 5 days, which is very nice. And one of the reasons that I think this is one of the best futures prop firms in the game right now, because the price is pretty cheap. I mean, what was it with the discount? It's $144. You can have 6 accounts, and it's 1-to-1 ratio. I mean, it's very appealing. That's pretty much the whole reason I'm making this video, is because a lot of people don't know about this change, and it's probably making them one of the top prop firms in the game. I mean, we could already see how many payouts they're doing. It's pretty wild. Okay, well, let's continue. The first withdrawal sets the maximum loss limit to the starting balance. So, like we said before, you could take out, you know, a $500 payout and leave $500 in the account, but then you have a $500 max loss. So it's probably not one of the best ideas to do, because it would kind of mean your accounts are toast and you wouldn't get the 15% bonus. And then this is the biggest thing, right? The maximum performance reward. There is no limit. So you can withdraw, you know, $100,000 as long as you met the consistency rule. And, you know, that could be across 6 accounts. So that could be like $600,000. Now, it's very unlikely. You have to get probably, I mean, you could, I mean, grinding it out, it's very possible. But, I mean, you'd want to probably take payouts before then, right? You wouldn't want to just stack up an account to get to that balance before you draw it, unless you catch like a windfall trade, like I said. And then you got to kind of just meet the 40% consistency rule. But there's no maximum reward. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest things about FundedNext. I mean, if we look at Payout Junction, I think this is from Forex, but I mean, one guy already got 115K. I'm not sure if it was like after 30 days with a futures account or if it was with the CFDs. But it's massive, and we can see the average payout is $2,500. So, I mean, people are basically just getting right above the profit target after they're funded, and actually they're doubling it because they're only taking out 50%. So, I mean, it's pretty interesting, these changes they made. But let's see what the performance reward, okay, here it is. Okay, no, this is the performance rewards for the rapid funded accounts. So, I mean, you could pass in 1 day, still have the 40% consistency rule, and then minimum withdrawal is $250, maximum withdrawal per cycle is $1,500. And that's per account, right? So you could have up to 6. So with the rapid accounts, in as little as 3 days, you can get $9,000 payout, which is pretty nice. And the cap removal threshold after 5 performance rewards, the cap is lifted and the traders can withdraw their full profits without limits. So, I mean, that's also pretty fucking massive for the rapid accounts. Because after just 5 payouts, you could literally just take 100% out and you receive 100% of the rewards. You don't have a profit split at all, which is fucking massive. Now, that is for both of these accounts, right? You could withdraw 50% from the legacy accounts, but you still keep 100% of the profits. There's no BS commissions or anything like that, right? You get 100%. It's not 90%. It's not 80%. It's 100%. So you withdraw, $10,000 per account times 6 accounts. After the 5 performance rewards or the 30 benchmark days, then you get, $60,000 if you have 6 accounts, right? 10,000 times 6. Yeah, I mean, we don't even have to do any math. It's like 10 times 6, and you just add a few zeros because there's no payout split. So you know exactly how much you're getting right off the rip, which is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, they have really simple rules. I mean, there is like the micro-scalping rule, which they did make a lot nicer. But let's take a look at it anyways. Let's see if we can trade news too. I actually don't remember if we can. Or no restriction on news trading. Traders should be aware of the potential risks. So yeah, you could trade news if you wanted to. Yeah, that's super risky, but you can. Yep, they're just reminding you of extreme volatility because you could blow your account in 3 seconds flat, 1 second flat sometimes. There's no maximum profit limits on the FundedNext Futures accounts, LFG. And then we have, all the basic rules. Don't exploit platform errors, no account sharing, no account rolling, multi-order spam and coordinated trading exploits, abusing slow data feed, flipping inconsistent contracting execution. Account flipping and inconsistent contract execution involves using high margin to rapidly grow or blow accounts through reckless oversized positions. This high-risk approach lacks strategy and discipline, making it sustainable to prone to failure. I think this is more for the Forex side. Yeah, so they're actually saying that windfalls are not one of the ways you can actually trade. So we got to be careful for this. I think it is discretionary. So, I mean, if you kind of do it, in a disciplined way, they can't really prove that you're doing this. I would be careful with this one regardless. Remember, prop firms are not on our side. They want us to buy the accounts and they want us to fail, and they also don't want to pay us. Now, we haven't had any issues with FundedNext paying people, so we do have that going for us, but this could be something that they pull out if things don't look that right, or if you're actually doing this kind of stuff. Here's a micro-scalping. Okay. Let's take a look at micro-scalping because this is one of the rules that could actually get you denied. And this is the one that I've seen, I think, one or two people get denied for, which is not a big amount. You'd see a lot more payouts. So this is kind of like, you got to try to break this rule. So micro-scalping is defined as the practice of opening and closing trades within seconds to capture very small, quick price changes. While scalping itself is a valid approach at FundedNext, micro-scalping is identified when 40% or more of the total profit is generated from trades that are closed within 10 seconds. Our traders are free to close trades at a loss any time without fear of triggering the micro-scalping rule. We want to ensure traders have full control of their risk. So basically, 40% or more of total profits cannot be from trades closed within 10 seconds, does not apply to losses. Now, holding a trade for 10 seconds, it's kind of tough to even trade like that. So, if you can somehow make a fuckload of money doing this, then just be aware. It's not going to breach your account, but the following will be applied. You will receive a formal warning. If micro-scalping is detected, you will receive a warning. Any profits generated from this activity will be deducted from your account. So this is one of the downsides, which does kind of suck. But again, this is very hard to do anyways. This is kind of like, I guess, maybe signal towards the news because, you can trade news, and typically a news trade would last 1 to 5 seconds. I don't know. But look out for this one. That's the only one that I've actually seen people having problems with. FundedNext does have a pretty cool live account if you can get there. I'm pretty sure you're able to just withdraw the whole balance if you wanted to after those 30 days. So, if you want, you can allocate 50% of your net profit to a live account. It's up to you, you know what I mean? The cool thing about the live account is you can withdraw in your FundedNext account. So it's not like daily payouts, but you get extra scaling as you hit milestones. So, if you didn't want to, be on your own, you could use FundedNext to have a live account. Not sure if you really need it, but you could do it, right? And this is how it would work. So start with 50K, go to 70K, profit is 20K, half 10,000 becomes your live account starting balance. If you have multiple accounts, you combine it, boom. Prove your discipline in a FundedNext account, get transitioned into a live account. So, I mean, you know, could be cool. I'm not sure if it's super necessary, but if they put you in there, then you don't really have a choice. The main thing is probably the 5 payouts for the rapid accounts, which, you know, doesn't have a bad price either. You know, keep in mind it's not a 1-to-1 for these accounts, and the 100K just kind of doesn't really make sense because you got to make $2,000 more and you get $500 extra buffer. So across the board, FundedNext accounts would probably be the 25K and 50K accounts for both plans. The 100K isn't terrible here. It just doesn't really make too much sense since this is 1-to-1 and it's only a $500 drawdown difference. You do get 2 extra minis, but don't really know if that's necessary. And there's no buffer required. That is probably the biggest perks, right? So there's no buffer required. There's no max withdrawal limits. You can only have 300K in FundedNext accounts. That's funded accounts. You could have up to $1 million in evaluations if you wanted to have some, you know, in the back burner. But that's 12 25K accounts, 6 50K accounts, or 3 100K accounts. Now, I want to take a look and see what's going on with the performance bonus, because they did have this before. Okay, yeah, okay, here it is. This is one of the things that piqued my interest on the Legacy account as well. It's not that big of a deal, but it is. It is, you know, it is a nice bonus. And it makes you feel a lot better if you end up blowing your accounts, as long as you got this bonus, right? Yeah, so 15% reward challenge from the challenge. Yeah, so cool. So one thing that's like super funny about FundedNext is they guarantee the rewards within 24 hours, or they pay you $1,000 extra. And they actually did fog up. And one guy did actually end up getting an extra $1,000 because he didn't get his payout in 24 hours. So that's a good thing. You know, you can count on your payout. I guess the average is 5 hours right now. I mean, on Payout Junction, it seems like they're paying out fucking all the time. Let's see the last 24 hours. We have Tradeify taking the lead here. I mean, the last 24 hours, they paid out 42 grand. So they're paying out constantly. But let's take a look at the 15% bonus, because it is a very, very nice bonus here. Where's the Legacy? Here it is. Yeah, so the daily loss limit removal is the biggest, the benchmark days, consistency rule, and then the 15% bonus. So you can earn a 15% reward from the challenge based on the challenge's profit target after withdrawing at least 10% of their account size from the FundedNext account. So 10% of 50K is what? Minus 10%. Ooh, so it's $5,000 that you got to withdraw. So it's a little bit harder to get this 15% bonus, actually. You got to withdraw $5,000, and then you'll get an extra 15% reward from the challenge based on the challenge's profit targets. So if you withdraw $5,000, you'll get what? 2,500 times 15%. You'll get an extra 375. You know, times 6 with the max accounts, it's actually $2,250. So it's still good. It's a little bit more than I thought it was. I thought it was 5% for some reason. I thought it was $2,500. But yeah, still nice little bonus. I mean, no other prop firm really offers bonuses, so that's pretty unique to FundedNext and pretty cool overall. And I mean, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. They really don't have many rules. I mean, there's no benchmark days. You can get a payout in 3 days. Just pay attention to the consistency rule. Reset fees are less than the challenges too. So if you do blow, you could, you know, reset for a little bit of a discount. You could trade on Tradeivate, Ninja Trader. What I'm going to do, my plan here personally is, you know, I do have the 150K and 350K Apex. So what I think I'm going to do with these accounts, I'm going to get the 50Ks, and the plan would be to do the ratio on TradeSyncer and do a multiplier of 5. So I'll do 1 mini on the Apex accounts, plus like the TickTick accounts, plus Lucid, you know, all my 150K accounts that have massive drawdown. And then I'll do a 5 times ratio with a crossover to do 5 micros to trade the 50K accounts. We did blow our TBT Pro accounts in just 2 days just by hitting our stop loss, 2 times. They're super high volatility because it only had a $2,000 max loss limit. So I think the micros are the route we're going to be taking here. You know, if we're feeling ballsy, we could go up a little bit more. But yeah, that's kind of my plan. That's the way I'm looking at it. Rapid challenges, I'm probably not going to go for these personally. I do like how you can get paid in 3 days, but legacies are more my style. I'm trying to compound here. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about FundedNext in the comments below, and let me know if you guys think that they're fucking coming up in the future space. You know, like, are they one of the best? I'm starting to think so. I mean, their pricing's pretty on point. Their payouts are fast as fuck. There's no payout caps. They have performance bonuses, no daily loss limit, no activation fee. I mean, I think they're pretty beautiful. But I mean, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. And until next time, I'll see you guys on a live stream every single day at 9:15 a.m. EST. And until then, peace out.